Alright guys, this is our weekly Solos Player's Guide to the Nightfall. This week's strike is the Dust Palace. It is a bit of a headache this week because of match game, but we'll get to that in a second. If you need a Warlock or a Hunter guide, as this is our Titan guide, haven't done Titan first in a while, so I figured why not. But if you need the other two classes, look in the description box below. As soon as I have those ready for you, no later than Wednesday or tomorrow if you're watching it the day it's uploaded, those will be in the description box below, so look out for those. Also, if you need a Challenge of Elders guide, I'm about to start working on that as well. So that will be in the description box below. We're going to run that as a Titan as well. And yeah, other than that, let's go ahead. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's go ahead and hit the setup, and then we'll rock the modifiers and we'll hit the guide. Modifiers this week include epic, heavily shielded, and highly aggressive enemies appear in great numbers. Berserk, minions of the darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. This week, normally this is a perk that I say it's not that big of a deal. This week, in my opinion, it is the second worst modifier of the week. You got small arms, primary weapon damage is favored, but it takes away from your heavy and special ammo or special weapon damage to take that into consideration. Chaff, player radar disabled, not too bad. Match game, enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. This is the pain in the butt. Trying to stay PG-13. Otherwise, it's going to be nothing but expletives about match game. And it's not too bad at first, but once you get into that boss fight, holy cow, is it annoying. It's annoying. Leave it like that. Alright, so first off, high impact scout rifle. If you want to use Fatebringer, that would actually be really cool, really good. I would say you definitely want something with explosive rounds if you have it. Firefly is also a very good perk because it'll hit multiple enemies. With this, it'll hit things like the phalanxes that have shields. It'll hit behind those shields, so you'll still be doing some sort of damage to them. Now, if you don't have either of those, and you don't have something like Fatebringer, high impact scout rifle, hand cannon, something like that. You know, like Finale's Peril maybe. Hell, the palindrome would be great. Just something with a lot of impact, and hopefully it's got, like I said, explosive rounds, Firefly, those kind of perks. Crowd control is really good. Even, I would say, life support might come in handy. I tried Zalo Supercell because there are a few arc shields. It just wasn't working out for me at all, so I had to go with my handy dandy Hand of Judgment. We're using a sniper rifle. Again, I never used it. I would definitely say sniper is the way to go. As you can see, I'm rocking Void. And then we start with the Galahorn, of course. But once we get to the boss fight, I actually stick with Galahorn. And then the last Scion's guy is arc, so I switch over to my bolt caster, which actually works really well since it can also be used as a ranged weapon. So if you can help it at all, try and leave the arc guy for last. We're also rocking the armamentarium. We chose Sunbreaker this week just because of Cauterize mainly. It saved my life a bunch of times. It also didn't save my life a few times, but we won't talk about those. We edit those out. We're also using Flameseeker. Your Hammer of Soul will alter its flight path to seek out your enemies, because I suck at throwing hammers. If you're better than me, Explosive Pyre, I think, would be the way to go. Enemies felled by your hammer explode, chaining fiery damage, solar damage to others. Thermal Vent. Sunstrike releases a solar explosion on hit, create a sunspot that damages enemies inside. It's very helpful. You might actually, I was using Forge Master, which is the one I say, oh, Forge Master is kind of the best one, guys. But you might want to go Scorched Earth, ignite the world, creating sunspots everywhere. Your Hammer of Soul impacts, which means it's just going to leave this big like damage ring of fire that's just going to do damage anything that's inside it or near it. I would say switch to this in the final boss fight especially. You'll see why when we get there. And then I would honestly recommend thermal grenades or thermite grenades. Yeah, thermite grenades I think are your best option for this specific strike. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this guide. Alright, so this is the first Nightfall area. What you want to do is wait here because all these ads are going to spawn in and you want to take them out before you go too deep into this. I tried like rushing in and just trying to unlock the door and start the rest of this bit of the encounter, but I died every single time. So just go ahead and take these guys out first. As soon as all these guys are dead, then go ahead and unlock the door. There's going to be some Vandals, an Invisible Minotaur there, some Scions. The whole crew is there pretty much. But once you get them all down, unlock the door and run all the way back because they are going to start spawning in again. This time you're going to have a bunch of Scions. There's going to be a major, not Centurion. Is it? It is a Centurion. A major Centurion in the middle. Arc shield, of course, so get your arc weapon ready. Or if you have something with high impact and explosive rounds, that actually takes them down in about 6 shots. They're talking about the shield. It's pretty awesome. That's why I recommend explosive rounds. It does a lot of damage. It helps take down those shields without a burn modifier on your weapon. Like you don't have something adept. That will somewhat make up for it. But once you kill him, all the other enemies should despawn, which is great because that will save you a bunch of time. So moving on ahead, those 2 guys are going to be there if you get the Taken version. So go ahead and kill them and then move on in. You're going to want to take out as many of these hobgoblins as you can. I believe there's 6 of them that you can get from here. All the others are going to be some Centurions, of course, with solar shields. So if you got that Galahorn shot and you got a good shot on them, go ahead and just knock that out. 1 shot should kill him. As long as you have the wolf pack rounds unlocked, just like so. And then again, once you get up to the top, there's going to be some more hobgoblins, like 3 or 4 more hobgoblins. There's going to be 2 Centurions with arc shields and a couple phalanxes. Again, pain in the butt, but that's how it goes. So go ahead and take care of these guys and then go ahead and start the door unlocking process. Once you unlock the door, you're going to want to jump back down because you're going to get surrounded by Taken enemies. There are going to be some on the top. There's going to be some coming from the bottom. Take these guys out first if you can. Especially if they're jumping at you like this. As you can see, they're going to start trying to surround you down here. But that's alright because there's not too many of them. These guys will spawn in. I believe there's a major up there. Yeah, major phalanx one of these guys with the shields. Pain. This whole strike is a pain. I'm probably going to say that this entire time. It's not the funnest nightfall this week. Small arms helps a lot, but go ahead and take these guys out. I hate these shield things. I really hope there's no more Taken in Destiny 2. I'm done with seeing Taken. I hate them. I didn't mind that they stayed for Rise of Iron, but if they're still in Destiny 2, I'll probably cry a little bit, die on the inside. But go ahead and do that. Once you kill the Major, the Phalanx, it should open the door. So if you want to skip the rest of these guys, go for it, honestly. But if you want the points, and you might need them because we finished this with 3 minutes left. That's literally how long the boss fight takes without using adept weapons. So if you don't have any of those, prepare for a bit of a roller coaster of emotions. But these guys are always going to be here. Go ahead and take them out. 2 Centurions and like 4 Scions, nothing too bad. Go ahead and take these guys out. There's going to be, I think there's 3 or 4 Hobgoblins to the left side of the room. And there's going to be a bunch of more Scions on the right side. So depending on which way you go, I would say focus on the left, get them out of the way. Because I did have a run. This might be the run. I can't remember. If where I kill all the phalanxes on the right side as well and towards the back. And then at the last second, a Hobgoblin gets me, and I have to do this all over again. So that was lame. But go ahead and kill as much of these guys as possible. And we'll kill them all. Yeah, I think this is where I'm going to die. I'm going to have to edit some of this. But take these guys out. There's also going to be a major acolyte, so be careful of him with his little eye. There it is. And then start unlocking the door. Alright, so after a bunch of dumb deaths, what you want to do is unlock the door and come running right back into the room we just were in. That way you can take care of these Centurions. They're not majors, but they're still a pain. Go ahead and get these Goblins out of the way. There are going to be 2 major Minotaurs in this room, so be very careful about them. Also, there's a total of 2 Centurions and a bunch of Goblins. The Goblins, again, I can't wait until there's no more Taken, because they throw those shields, so be careful. Try not to get too tilted trying to deal with these guys. As you can see, I get a little tilted in this spot. I know I do. But that's why I don't do these live. But yeah, go ahead and pretty much just stay back here. They'll come to you. And with your primary, you're going to be doing enough damage to take them out pretty decently quick. And if it's not fast enough for you, Galahorn's always a great option. So go ahead and take all of these guys out. I believe once you take out both of these, the other door opens that you're unlocking at the moment. So go ahead and take both of them down. That's not another Minotaur. Those are the Goblins shooting at me right now. Pain. Total pain. But go ahead and do that. Once that unlocks, there's going to be some Scions on the other room. If you have Firefly, which is why I was saying before, you can take care of those guys in about 3 or 4 headshots. So go ahead and take all these guys out. Forgot about the Acolytes. Those will spawn at the top of those stairs. Nothing too horrible. So go ahead and go into the room and the boss fight. Take all of these guys out. Every single one. We have to anyways, but go ahead and take them all out. There's going to be 1 or 2 Centurions and a couple Phalanxes on the left-hand side. There's going to be 2 or 3 Legionnaires on the right-hand side. So I like to stay back in this room, kind of let them damage each other, take them all out. and then we will go ahead and start this boss fight. Alright, so in case you're going by shields, I believe the middle is always going to be solar, the left is going to be arc, and the right is going to be void. I do believe that is how they spawn in every single time, so if you're trying to do with swords, that's what you're going to want to keep in mind. Middle solar, left arc, right void. With match game, that is important, because you want to match those shields with your swords or your whatever ammo you're using that's got a burn on it. So go ahead and take all of these guys out. And you can see there's a couple Centurions in here. There's going to be some Legionnaires. There's going to be a little healthy mix of everything. This is where I start really getting tilted. I can already see it. Luckily, the solar guy comes kind of towards the middle. You're going to want to keep an eye out for these guys. They'll try and sneak up on you. But for the most part, this is where you're going to be staying the entire boss fight. As you can see right now, we're at 14 minutes. So in the next 11 minutes, it's going to take me that long. It probably, if you're doing this with a friend, it's not going to take nearly that long. Because you can double team or even triple team these scions with swords, and it's probably a lot easier, a lot faster. But solo, it's a pain. So luckily that solar guy came there, and I could do some pretty decent damage. I was kind of knocking him out of the way from behind the those crates or whatever you want to call them with the Galhorn, and then switching to my primary real quick and banging him out some damage. That guy that's shooting me now is actually the Void. He was what was tilting me the most, because every time I would try and get a good angle on this guy, here he comes again. So I mean, literally all you can do is pretty much stay back here and do what I'm doing. It's really the safest way, because these guys, they're not, it doesn't look like they're doing a lot of damage, but they'll do a lot of damage really quickly. So you do not want to get in between two of them, especially not two of them and a few adds, because you'll just go down in the blink of an eye. No joke. So definitely go ahead and just focus one at a time. That's really all I can tell you. If you want to switch out your special weapons and get those elementals matching with their shields, Void with Void, Solar with Solar, Arc with Arc. That way it'll make it a little bit faster, but these guys do like to hide, and it is so very annoying. It is so annoying. But anyways, I'm not going to end it right here. Once you kill the first Scion, I believe there's a new wave that comes in. I think with each wave there's going to be 2 Colossus, the guys that with the machine gun and that shoot the rockets at you. So be very, very careful of them. They're another reason why you want to stay all the way back in this area. Just keep an ear out for other ads that spawn in. There's going to be some Scions. There's going to be some Legionnaires. Sorry, my brain is fried right now. I just got off work not that long ago. But yeah, so just be careful of them. They'll always spawn in that landing bay area, kind of where I'm pointing at, where the solar guy actually spawns in. That's where they're going to come from. So, you know, keep that in mind. Pretty much just stay back here. Really take your time. Obviously don't take all your time if you're trying to get that sunrise bounty, if you're still trying to get the icebreaker. And other than that, I'm just going to let this roll out. I'll probably actually speed this up because it does take a while, but I will leave it in so you guys can see each wave because I know I'm not doing the best job at explaining what's going to happen. Another good idea might be to switch subclasses with each guy, so you get maybe lightning grenades with the arc if you can get a good angle on him, or pulse grenade would actually be really decent. Magnetic grenades for the void guy would be another good one, or spike grenades. Those are always pretty decent. And then yeah, so like I said, subscribe if you're new to the channel. This week's not the best as far as nightfalls go, but Challenge of Elders is going to be hopefully a lot more fun than this. So maybe skip the nightfall this week and do that instead. Link in the description. Don't know why I'm talking like this. Anyways, getting started to get done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you somewhat. Maybe at least come up with a strategy for doing this. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.